Hey guys, it's Morgan. I'm coming to you today from my bedroom because here in Houston we are officially, I don't want to say on lockdown. It's not lockdown, but we are under a do not leave the house unless it's an emergency rule. Didn't exactly have before, except for a few select jobs. Everyone has to work from home. That means that Michael is here today. He has kind of taken over the office. Normally I am filming in the front of the house, and that's right where my office is too. It's almost like the same room, and he's in a meeting right now, so I don't want to interrupt him or anything like that. So we're in my bedroom. Given the circumstances right now of coronavirus and there's a bunch of craziness going on, while everyone else has been slowing down, I have been kind of speeding up because I already work from home. When I can't leave my house, I kind of took that as, okay, now I have no excuse but to get a bunch of stuff done. I've experienced a little bit of burnout, so this week we're gonna do something different. A while back, I made a video that was supposed to go on Instagram. This was before I had a YouTube channel. It was recording the audiobook, but it's actually a scene. It's a scene where I have almost every character. I have at least like the main company in one scene, and I was doing all the voices. Because I have so many different accents going on in my story, I do something that most people don't do in an audiobook, and that is I record all dialogue separately. I thought it would be fun to edit together a scene where all the characters are talking. Now, I forgot to record the narration, so it's actually just all these characters speaking, but I still thought it'd be fun to share with you guys. I had never posted on Instagram because I was having trouble like getting it onto my phone, but I have it on my computer, and now I can just put it on YouTube because I got a YouTube channel. I did record this a while back in the winters. That's why I'm wearing like all these heavy sweaters. Because I was learning to use IGTV at that time, it's oriented for like a phone, like, so it's filmed vertically, so it's gonna look kind of funny on here. Next week I should have some new content for you. I started to do something this week. I started to try a new thing that I think I'm gonna call like paint and chat, where I painted a picture. If you don't know, I'm also a painter. The only thing is I had a few technical difficulties. In fact, I'm gonna include some of my bloopers for y'all's personal enjoyment because it's pretty funny. Yeah, so anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you stay safe during this quarantine. Here's the video.
I was wondering when you'd come wandering back into my wood, Staccato Nimbus. Many a spring has passed since you sat beneath my shade. Many more since you swung from my branches and slept in my canopy as a boy. Come now, Mother Genesis. If it were that long, you would have forgotten me by now. You silly creature! Even if I weren't the tree of all knowledge, I could no more forget you than I could forget any of my sons or daughters.
That's saying something. She has a million.
What a treat you have brought me. Everyone's here, sonata, melodious, pyro, and oh my, skilted darling. How I've missed your company. I do hope you'll be playing some of your music during your stay. Oh my, so you've brought him at last. Come here, little one. How sweet you look, my love. Look at those big brown eyes. Oh, he's absolutely precious.
That's a great feature, isn't it? You know, you just don't see enough preciousness in kings these days. Ow!
And so much of his family in his face. He has Evangeline's chin and his grandfather's nose.
Does he now? I never noticed.
He never does. I hope you haven't brought him here for the reason I think you have.
And what reason would that be?
Has he brought you here to catch the firebird?
Yes, ma'am.
And no doubt you've come to ask me how to catch her. Whenever you need answers, you always come looking for me. Well, where else would I go? I thought you'd be flattered. It should please you that I come seeking your advice first. It might, if you ever listened to what I had to say. I know you, Staccato. You only take my advice when it's convenient. If you don't like what I have to say, you get upset and question my credibility. You've done the same thing since you are 6 years old. Many things have changed about you as you've grown older, Staccato, but the one thing time has not altered is your stubbornness.
Now, Mother Genesis, I hardly think that's fair. You know in the end Staccato always comes to respect your advice. And who knows, perhaps I'll follow it this time.
Well, you're not going to like what I have to say.
Come, Mother Genesis, how could I question the tree of all knowledge? You know everything.
All right, fine. Don't say I didn't warn you. The victor of the Firebird has already been determined, and you are not the winner.
What? How do you know?
See, what did I tell you? Somiel was always meant to catch the Firebird, because it is the will of the bird herself. Do not ask me why, for you will know in time, but it is not your hour.
Not our hour? What do you mean? Why can't you tell us?
My darling boy, so much you have still to learn about this place. It has been this way from the moment of my conception. It is contrary to the rules of my being. I am the tree which possesses all knowledge, but not all knowledge is meant to be possessed by mankind, and some knowledge must occur in its own time. If I told you something before you were ready to hear it, you would drop down dead on the spot. That's simply how it works.
I see.
But I can tell you this. Forget about that blasted bird and let this poor boy be.
But why? Can you at least tell us why?
I did. Besides, there are more important things you can be doing to help the world at large.
If Somiel catches the Firebird, she will grant him one wish, and he'll wish for the power to conquer all of Valar again. What could be more important than keeping him from catching that bird?
You ask all the wrong questions. You're putting your faith in the wrong answers. You're falling into someone else's trap.
Whose trap?
You will know in time. Until then, stop chasing the Firebird. You are not meant to catch her. Instead, focus your efforts on breaking the landlockers and freeing all the mermaids.
Freeing all the mermaids? What good will that do? Excuse me? Mermaid goddaughter here, waiting to be reunited with her parents. Sorry, dearest. You know I didn't mean anything by it.
I knew this would happen. Didn't I say it? Didn't I say you wouldn't listen? My warnings mean nothing to you when you have a mind to do something. Well, it's no use beating around the bush. You're obviously not going to change your mind. I'll tell you where the Firebird nests. Do you remember how the Phoenix Islands got their name?
Of course. Why didn't I think of it before? What? How did they get their name? The Phoenix Islands are ruled by the mermaids of Cetus. The ancient cetaceans predicted one day a phoenix, or in this case the Firebird, would rise up at a time of great divide and drink the lava running through the heart of the volcano Fornax. So they built a nest to accommodate her. That's where she's staying.
I'm surprised at you, Staccato. Did you really need my assistance to figure that out?
Dear Mother Genesis, I could never have done it without you. You know you've always been my chief source of inspiration.
Yes, we're all the same. I am glad you came because I have something to give you. Despite what you may think, I am not in total contradiction with your efforts. You all have a great task set before you. And so I have a contribution to make.
A contribution? I'm listening.
What I am about to entrust to your care possesses great power. You must promise to regard such power with the utmost care and respect.
You have our word.
You can be foolish at times, Staccato Nimbus, but I know this is a matter I can trust you with. Go down into the glen. I'll meet you there.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, the Glassblower is coming out on April 18th. If we're all still stuck in quarantine, hopefully you have something to read. As always, you can support me on Patreon. You can follow me on Instagram. Something I don't think I've ever mentioned on my YouTube channel, something that fun that I do on my Instagram is Fun Facts Fridays. Every Friday, I post a series of fun facts with a theme. All my followers on Instagram have really enjoyed it. I super enjoy doing it. It is like the highlight of my week. So I highly recommend you go check that out. You can get the Breadwinner on Amazon. You can pre-order an ebook for the Glassblower. Glassblower comes out on April 18th. All right, guys, stay safe. I'll see you later. Bye. And this was an old design of the Placide. I'm on this rolly board thing and I just fell over. I have a very macho, tough dad who I would ride all the roller coasters with. Also, if I didn't ride a roller coaster, he would call me a weenie. So I always rode the roller coaster so no one would call me a weenie. I think I might have went and it wasn't there. Oh, we good. Hey, how? And I'm just really curious, like, how do you die on it? It's very windy. How do you die on a simulator ride? This wind is strong. We may have to postpone this. I'm not saying anything interesting. one more is coming. I'm going to lose it. Right, Pippi? She good. After finding out that I had cheated death, I didn't really cheat death. Pippi, get out of that. Pip! Hey! This thing does not need wheels. Oh, this thing is hard as a rock.